So I guess the question is, what did we kind of would like specifics about what you liked about today's presentations and what you didn't, not sort of a judgment of the platforms as a whole, but what features did you like or didn't you like? And I know Sierra wasn't a true demo, but hey, do you guys have any comments?
I can go. Nate, this is Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
There are a lot of things in Syrsi Dynix that I really liked. I can't say I loved the look of the system in terms of what we're going to look at every day. But I guess what I really did like was that everything was, I wasn't jumping from box to box or function to, like everything was right there. And I realized some people might not like that. And I can totally understand because it does make for a bit of a messy screen. But I guess I was just thinking of the ease of finding everything seemed really nice. I should have taken notes, but there are a few things. Something with searching. Let's see if I can go back and remember. It was blanket. What was it called?
Blanket holds. Yeah, thank you.
Holds.
If you, hopefully I'm stating this right. You can correct me if you heard something else, but you can put a hold on essentially a title, and regardless of whether it's an audio book, it's large print, it's a book. So I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. And then I guess the last thing I'll say, I really liked Syrsi Dynix also with Enterprise. And I just sat in on a workshop with Rochester Public Library, and they use Syrsi Dynix, and they talked so much about how much they enjoy on Enterprise and how it's so helpful for outreach and various different things. And that, I think if I remember, I asked the question and it's included. It wasn't an extra charge. So yeah, those are the things that I really appreciated today. So thanks.
Great. Well, thank you. Anybody else? So I thought Enterprise, I thought it was a little, I don't know, suspect, but they didn't have they couldn't really find an example of a Ferberized, that sort of roll-up view anywhere. Some of the libraries hadn't turned it on. So I don't quite know what's up for that. I don't know, might be nothing. I think we had something come in from Michelle. Love the blanket hold feature that auto remove the remainder once filled. Yeah, that was another component to it. Lindsay also likes the blanket hold idea. Yeah, it was neat. As soon as it fills one of those holds for whatever item is next, then it drops the rest of the holds, which is, I haven't really run into it anywhere else. So, of the demand management function, sure, sort of the Syrsi Dynix, the hold system. Are you talking like the local versus group versus regional loan fulfillment? Yeah. That was interesting. I think Lisa has a question.
No, I just wanted to comment on Syrsi Dynix. There were a couple things in the user registration form that I really liked. One was where you could choose whether or not a patron wanted to receive a newsletter. I like the duplicate patron check, and also that you could clone family members off the same information. That would be really helpful at the circulation desk.
Yeah, I really appreciated the duplicate check as well. We don't really have anything like that in Sierra. It's sort of up to us to either come across duplicates manually or try to create some kind of list to weed those out. So, absolutely. I think I saw a hand up, but it went away. Let's see. How would you say Syrsi Dynix compares to the other two platforms that we saw? I mean, I know they in one sense they sort of end up merging together because ILSs all sort of generally do the same thing, and the interfaces sort of overlap functions. So I think in my head at least, they're kind of getting melded together. But yeah, I don't know. What did the rest of you think?
I guess the comparison for me would be between Carl X and Cersei Dynex, and I certainly would like to see them more. I do think, and I brought this up right away, that the screen in Cersei Dynex was a lot to look at. And I remember Carl X, I remember being impressed with the way that that was set up. Again, I need to see more of it, but yeah, those would be the two that I'm most excited about.
Okay. Okay. Michelle?
Yeah, I agree with Jessica. I like the visual appeal of Carl X. And then I would rank probably Cersei second, but again, need to see some costs.
Yeah, costs are a big limiting factor, I would think. No love for Polaris out there, huh? We kind of enjoyed it around here. I mean, just sort of in a vacuum, it looked like a decent ILS. I mean, you add some of the baggage we might have with Innovative into it, and it sort of changes things. But the interface itself, we enjoyed it. What else is there to say? Yeah, I don't know. Did we get a whole lot without kind of going into too much naysaying? Did we get a whole lot of out of the Did we get a whole lot out of Sierra, the Sierra session? To me, there seem to be a lot of things we could be doing with Sierra, but they all sort of come with a price, and that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they didn't really answer the questions about search functionality. I think the Sierra itself is just sort of limited in what it can do. And they did a pretty good job kind of advising us around that without actually telling us that it's, well, I think actually at some point they did tell us that it's kind of limited, the Sierra search interface. But I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts? I'm just sort of rambling. Michelle.
I thought Jessica's comment that in the chat about Innovative's response to user issues really brought up a key point for us. Sure. I'm feeling like if they haven't responded to us previously, what indication do we have that this is going to change much in the future? I mean, I'm being really blunt here, but, and we didn't want to be naysaying, but come on.
Yeah, there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on with, I shouldn't say behind the scenes, not really the case, but there's been a lot going on with customer support and some of our libraries. It's, I wouldn't say our requests are ignored, but yeah, a lot of the times they're sort of passed off and they're sort of shuffled around and things are not resolved. I would say most of the urgent things are resolved fairly timely, but a lot of the user interface issues that we have, search and how things are displayed, I get a lot of responses that essentially say, well, this is sort of the way it is and there's no way to alter that. So I do get faced with a lot of that. Yeah. And normally they'll look at those questions and then they'll update the status of the ticket to in engineering, which is sort of where a lot of tickets go to die. They sort of sit there with the assumption that they'll be looked at by engineers in order to make the software better, but then they sit there for months, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel that they don't know what to do with them, but again, the urgent issues, I've been able to work with them on a lot of, kind of urgent issues to get them resolved fairly quickly. And I think that's changed over time too. I think they were slower to respond before, and they've reorganized how their customer support works, and things have sort of gotten better in some aspects. So yeah, I don't know. It's a story for another day, but it's a little bit of a struggle. But I don't know if any other organization would be better, you know? I think all of us in our lives have been kind of given the runaround at one sort of customer support or another. And I don't know, is that different with another ILS? I have no idea.
True, that's a good point, Nate.
Yeah. The devil we know and the devil we don't know, I guess.
Nate, do you want me to talk about next steps before that?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, I think if the debrief is kind of closing up, I think what we should do, or what I would encourage all of you to do before our NAC meeting, we started the agenda for the NAC meeting. Of course, the discussion about our next steps will be on the agenda next week, and that'll be coming out shortly. And so what I would encourage all of you to do is kind of review your notes, make sure that you have documented things, because I don't know, maybe the rest of you have better memories than I do, but I will likely forget which one did what, whatever that I liked or didn't like. So make sure that you documented all of that. I would also encourage all of you to go out and look at some of the libraries using this software and kind of play around with it and see what you think. And then bring that, you can at least see the public side of it. And then let's bring that experience back to NAC next week as well. And we'll talk about some next steps and kind of how we determine how we proceed from here, if that makes sense to everyone.
I'll upload notes and I'll upload recordings probably in the next few days when I'm able to get to it and parse through the notes and compile the videos and all that kind of stuff. So those will be there. All right. Well, thank you folks for joining us.
Thank you, Nate. Excellent job.
Well, thank you. All right, take care. I'll turn my camera on and wave to all the nice people. See ya.